Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Royal Ascot here on Wednesday. It is the 16th of June 2021. Going to look at the second day of racing at Royal Ascot, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Hit 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. Around the world. And remember to join me throughout the week for some more Royal Ascot previews. But today's card is very good. We have, some good Group 1 races and, some good handicaps. It's all around good cards. So let's get to it. 7 races. Starting off with the 2:30, the first race from Ascot, which is the Group 2 Queen Mary Stakes. It's a Group 2 event for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $109,500. Race for 2-year-olds here. We have a field of 21 horses going the distance of ground here of 1,000 meters, or 5 furlongs on the turf course. As a top selection here, we're going to take the number 19 horse, the number 19 who is Twilight Gleaming. We'll go 19-2 in the forecast exacta. 19-2 forecast exacta. Top selection 19 horse, Twilight Gleaming. This two are fully by National Defense. Wesley Ward trains. John Velazquez gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 9th of May here in New York at Belmont. 5 furlongs on the Widener turf course in Main Specialway for 90,000. And the horse did everything right. Won by 7.5 lengths and basically on the front and all throughout. 65 cents to the dollar. This horse could have won around another 5 times and still won that easily. Coming here to turf again, training well at Keeneland. This horse, they're going to play catch me and you can if you can, and I don't think anybody could really catch this horse today. I thought the debut was a very good race at Keeneland. 4.5 furlongs on the dirt in a Main Specialway 55,000. The horse finished second by a length. It did not break very well at all. Was behind the A-ball, but really recovered well. Had a decent turn of foot late to get second. I didn't think it was a half bad race. Like I said, been training well at Keeneland. Back to turf. Has a great pedigree here with the National Defense on the sire side. I think at 3-1 on the stand side, this horse is loaded. So let's take her. Your second likeliest winner here, I think, is the number 2 horse. The number 2, who is Beautiful Sunshine. Sylvester DeSouza is on this one for George Bowie. The horse's most recent outing came Sandown, 5 furlongs in a novice race on the 20th of May. And on the soft ground, the horse went by 4 lengths and really had a great tracking position all throughout. Quickened up nicely and 1 front nicely. An all-around good race. 2 back before that in a novice race in Windsor over the 5. On soft ground, again, the horse went by length. And again, I just had an easy trip from a tracking position. I like how he's run on the inside. If there could be a tracker that can win a pace meltdown, I think this horse can get it. 12-1, definite horse to use in your place pots. But to recount my selection for the 2:30, the first race from Ascot, it is the Group 2 Queen Mary. Let's take the 19 horse Twilight Gleaming. We'll give kudos to the 2 horse Beautiful Sunshine. 19-2 in the forecast exacta to race number 2. The second race from Ascot, the 305, it is the Group 2 Queen's Vase. It's a Group 2 event going for a purse $274,000. Races for 3-year-olds here. We have a field of 14 horses going the staying trip of ground at 2,800 meters or a mile 3/4 on the turf course. A very good St. Leger prep race, this one. My top selection, I'm going to take the number 14 horse, Wordsworth. We'll go 14-6-9 in the TriCash trifecta. 14-6-9 TriCash trifecta. Top selection of 14 horse Wordsworth. Thorough quote by Galileo. Ian O'Brien trains when Ryan Moore gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 15th of May in Navan in Ireland. Mile 5/8 in the Yeat Stakes, a listed stakes there. And the horse finished second by a neck. He just kind of plodded along. He had a decent turn of foot late. I didn't think it was a half bad race going finally to the staying trip. Back to faster ground, drawn very well. Could definitely stay. I think this horse is sitting on a very good run. 2 back at the Cur on the 17th of April, mile 1/4 in a main race, and the horse won by 2 lengths again, and that stupidly large 21 horse main race. This horse settled well, quickened up nicely, and got the job done over the longer trip. And then prior to that, the Cur last summer, soft ground, 1 mile main race. The horse finished second by 3/4 length. The winner, High Definition, is a decent horse. This horse was, traveling well, needed that extra turn of foot. Maybe the trip was just too long and soft ground got to him, but I've seen a lot worse debuts. He's been getting better with every single race. I like him to the staying trip. At 5-2, let's take him. Your second likeliest winner is the 6 horse Camari. This 3-year-old gelding by DeBowie. Charlie Appleby trains this one. William Buick gets mount. Most recently in a main race at Yarmouth, mile 7/16 on the 28th of March. The horse went by 6, and he just destroyed the field, even after not the best beginnings, but he settled well after that, and he just traveled well. And then before that, Newmarket in the main race, a mile 1/4 on the 13th of May, the horse finished second by 4 lengths. Again, didn't break all that well, which is somewhat of an occurrence with him, but, he was mowing him down late. Another horse, the staying trip shouldn't be a problem. At 8-1, if you develop your place pots, he's a horse to use there, because he can win on paper. But to recount my selection for the second, the 305 from Ascot, it is the Group 2 Queen's Vase. Let's take the 14 horse Wordsworth. Give kudos to the 6-horse Camary. We'll go 14-6-9, Tri-Cash Trifecta, 14-6 in your place pot. Let's get to the third. The third race, the 340 from Ascot, it is the Group 2 Duke of Cambridge Stakes. It's a Group 2 event for Class 1 horses going for a purse of $192,000, race for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 12 horses going 1,600 meters or a mile on the turf course. As a top selection here, I'm going to take the 9-horse Lavender's Blue. We'll go 9-2-12 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. 9-2-12, Tri-Cash Trifecta, top selection 9-horse Lavender's Blue. 5 Romero by See the Stars. Amanda Parrott trains. Jim Crowley gets them out. The horse's most recent outing came 2nd of May at Newmarket, a mile and 1/8, 1,800 meters in the Group 2 Dahlia Stakes, and the horse finished third by a neck. It was an all-out finish. He just really couldn't get there late. But I've seen worse races. I've seen a little better races also, but I think it wasn't the world's worst race, shall we say. 2 back in the snowdrop at Kempton, 1 mile on the 5th of April, and the horse won by 1.5 lengths there. He probably wasn't 100% cranked that day, but he sat back early, slowly moved his way up, and he got the job done against a little lesser quality horses there. And then prior to that, on the 29th of October at Linkfield, 1 mile in the Florida Liz Stakes, she finished second by 1/4 lengths. And again, she just won that extra turn of foot. I do think the mile might have just been a little bit too short. When she runs on very demanding heavy ground, she doesn't run her best races, like she did at Newmarket in the Sun Chariot last year, where she just ran horribly, and like she did at Newmarket before then, Sun Chariot of 2019. Maybe she just doesn't like Newmarket, but when she runs on fastest ground, she really runs these good races. She ran this race last year where she finished 7 by 4.25 lengths. There she just wasn't 100% cranked up, but that middle portion of the season, she didn't win last year, but those races at Sandown, I didn't think those were half bad races. Coming here off some decent race so far this year, at 12-1, fast ground, let's give her a massive shot. Your second likeliest winner here is the 2-horse Lady Bothrope. This 5 mare by Nathaniel. Kieran Schumark's on this one. Most recently, the horse ran in the lockage. There we go. Right words. At Newbury, 1 mile on soft ground. The horse finished second by 1/4 lengths. Really ran a good race against the boys. Really, sat back early, but really had a great turn of foot late. Ran a good race behind Palace Pier. Went on to win the Queen Anne yesterday. And then before that, the horse won the Dahlia very, very easily from its tracking position. Another horse likes soft, likes old firm ground, likes Ascot, likes a long galloping course. At 9-5, another very likely winner. To recount my selection now for the 340, the third race from Ascot, the Group 2 Duke of Cambridge. Let's take the 9-horse Lavender's Blue. We'll give kudos to the 2-horse Lady Bothrope. We'll go 9-2-12, Tri-Cash Trifecta, 9-2 in your place pots. Let's get to the featured 4th race. The featured 420, the 4th race from Ascot, it is the Group 1 Prince of Wales Stakes. It's a Group 1 event for Class 1 horses going for a purse of $959,000, race for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have 7 horses going 2,000 meters or a mile and a quarter on the turf course. As a top selection here, we're going to go take the number 3 horse, the 3-horse Lord North. We'll go 3-1-7 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. 3-1-7 Tri-Cash Trifecta. Top selection of the 3-horse Lord North is 5-year-old Gillen by DeBowie. John Gosden trains one. Frankie Dettori gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came at Maidan on the 27th of March. 1,800 meters, a mile and 1/8 in the Group 1 Dubai duty-free turf, whatever they call that race. And the horse won by 3 lengths. He sat back early, slowly moved his way up, and when he got the lead at the top of the lane, he just took off clear. An all-around good race, cutting back in trip, which I think he really wanted. Before that, he ran at Keeneland last season, 1.5 miles in the Breeders' Cup Turf, and he finished 4th by 2 3/4 lengths. He had a little bit of a turn of foot, but it wasn't anything spectacular. I do think the 1.5 miles was just a little bit too long for him there. And then last year's Champion Stakes here at Ascot, soft ground, 1.25 miles in October. Finished 10th by 13.5 lengths. He did not handle the soft ground. He was never comfortable. Throw that race out. And then prior to that at York in the Juddmonte International, the horse finished 3rd by 4.5 lengths. And again, he slowly moved his way up. Not so bad of a race, but he did lose a shoe during the running of the race. And then prior to that, in last year's Prince of Wales, at 5:20 upset it, winning by 3 1/4 lengths. And he, again, slowly moved his way up from the back of the pack. And at the top of the lane, he had the job done. A very, very good run. I like the race so far at Maidan. Coming here again to the 1.25 miles on firm ground, which he absolutely likes. At 9-5, I like him a lot. Your second likeliest winner here is the 1-horse Armory for Aidan O'Brien in the Coolmore Group. Shamie Hefferman's on this one. Most recently, they ran the horse in the Huxley at Chester over the mile 5/16, and the horse won by 3 lengths, and he basically had the dream trip of Chester. Tracking position, quick enough nicely off of that, and he got the job done very, very easily. Before that, he went placed in the Cox Plate at Moonee Valley in Australia. Before that, on soft ground behind Sir Dragonite, and then had a decent 3rd place finish finishing the Irish champs before that at Leopardstown. He likes the mile a quarter. He had a decent under the radar season. Stepping up in class shouldn't be a problem. At 3-1, I think he can upset. Hopefully they bet Love into the ground so these two horses, the odds could drift up. But to recap my selection for the fourth, the 420 from Ascot, it is the Group 1 Prince of Wales. Let's take the 3-horse Lord North as a top selection. We'll give kudos to the 1-horse Armory. We'll go 3-1-7, Tricast Trifecta, 3-1 in the place pot. So let's get to race number 5 now. The fifth race to 5 o'clock from Ascot, it is the Royal Hunt Cup. It's a Class 2 handicap going for a purse of $164,500, race for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of only 30 horses going the distance of around 1,600 meters or 1 mile down the straightaway turf course here at Ascot. Very good race, and I absolutely love a horse in it. That's going to be the number 21 Cliffs of Capri. We'll go 21-5 in the forecast exacta, 21-5 forecast exacta. Top selection 21 horse Cliffs of Capri. The 7-year-old gelding by Canford Cliffs. Jamie Osborne trains. Dougie Costello gets the mounts. The horse's most recent outing came 28th of April here at Ascot, 1 mile on firm ground and a handicap, and the horse finished 4th by 2 lengths. He sat back early, a little bit of a turn of foot late. He just wasn't 100% cranked, but I didn't think it was a half bad race. Back to Ascot, where he's run very well in the past, seeing very fast ground, which he absolutely loves. I think he's sitting on a very good run. 2 back, he ran the Golden Mile handicap, a good one, 1 mile firm ground on July 31st, and he finished 5th by 3 3/4 lengths. He did a little shuffling around that day from mid-pack. He just didn't have the clearest trips, a little bit of a turn of foot late. With a better trip, he might have had a better position. I don't know if he would have won, but I think the trip more got to him there. And then last year at Ascot on the 25th of July, 7 furlongs in a Class 2 handicap, finishing 2nd by 1/4 lengths. He sat back early, great turn of foot late, not a bad run at all. And then prior to that, in the Buckingham Palace handicap last year at Ascot on soft ground, 7 furlongs. He finished 4th by 2 3/4 lengths, and I think the wet ground got to him. He traveled okay, but it looks like his wheels were spinning there. And then prior to that, at Newmarket last year, 7 furlongs in a handicap Class 3 event. He finished 2nd by a length. First off the long refreshing, he needed the race there, but he was traveling decently. He hasn't won in quite a while since Maidan in early 2020, but he's always run these good races. Like I said, he likes running here at Ascot. Hasn't won in quite a while here, but he always runs these good races here. 20-1, good weight of 124 pounds. Let's take him. A horse to maybe blow up your place pots here, I think, would be the number 5 horse. The 5 horse, What's the Story? Joe Fanning's on this one for Keith Aglish. Most recently, they ran the horse at York on the 13th of May, 1 mile in a Class 2 handicap, where he finished 5th by 3.5 lengths, and he traveled well early on. He needed that extra turn of foot late. I do think the high weight of 136 pounds got to him. Carrying 4 less pounds here today, a little quicker ground. I think he's sitting on a lot better run. Before that, the horse had a very nice place in the Doncaster Mile at Doncaster, 1 mile, 27th of March. Top Rank just had that better trip, but this horse, again, was traveling decently. Another horse, he's run 3 times here in Ascot, 3 little bit of, 1 subpar trip last year in the Royal Hunt, but after that, if you take that race out, he's run decently here also. At 20-1, another horse using your place pots in this very wide open event. But to recap my selection for the 5th race, the 5 o'clock, it is the Royal Hunt Cup. Let's take as a top selection the number 21 Cliffs of Capri. We'll give kudos here to the 5 horse, who is What's the Story? 21-5 forecast exacta. Use them both in your place pots. Let's get to the 6th race. The 5:35, the 6th race from Ascot, it is the Windsor Castle Stakes. It's a listed stakes for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $89,000. Races for 2-year-olds here. We have a field of 28 horses going 1,000 meters or 5 furlongs on the turf course. My top selection, I'm going to take the 26 Golden Bell. We'll go 26-10 in the forecast exacta. 26-10 forecast exacta. Top selection of 26 horse Golden Bell. This two are affiliated by Macho Uno. Wesley Ward trains. John Velazquez going for the hat trick gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 22nd of April at Keelan. 4.5 furlongs in the main stretch, weight 58,000, and the horse put on a show, winning by 5.5 lengths. Only 3 other rivals, but this horse just had a great turn of foot, jumped out of there, quickened up nicely, and nothing bad about that race. Keep in mind, the 2nd place finisher was a next out winner. Since then, he's been training well at Keelan. 4 furlong workout on the lawn and a 48 flat. The best workout 11, and a 4 furlong workout 48 and 1. 4th best workout of 10, and prior to that, another dirt workout, 4 furlongs and 47 and 1. So I think this horse is a speedy horse. I like that he's drawn on the stand side, and I don't know if he could be caught. Let's take him here as a very short price. if there could be a horse that could possibly upset, it could be the 10 horse Chipotle. This trio Colton by Havana Gold. Eve Houghton trains this one. Charlie Bishop gets the mounts. Back the horse most recently in the National Stakes at Sandown. 5 furlongs, 27th of May. And the horse finished 6 by 4.5 lengths and beat one horse home and just had nothing. Was under the drive and just not excelling. Do think the soft ground got to him on a little quicker ground from a tracking position today. Hopefully breaking well. I think the horse could really run a good race. Ran here at Ascot in the 2-year-old trial conditioned race on 28th of April, where the horse won by 1.5 lengths. He didn't break that well, but he slowly recovered and quickened up nicely and got the job done with a high weight. And then before that, he won a conditions race at Doncaster very easily over the 5, putting on a show basically early on in the season. Coming here, drawn on the outside, which I quite like. 15-1. Let's also use him on the ticket. But, can he catch Golden Bell, who's really a fast horse? We're going to figure out today. 3 count my selection for the 5:35, the 6th race from Ascot to Windsor Castle. Let's take the 26 horse Golden Bell. Kudos to the 10 horse Chipotle. 26-10 in your forecast exacta. Let's get to the nightcap, the 7th race. The 6:10, the 7th race from Ascot. It is the Kensington Palace Handicap. Class 2 handicap going for a purse of $89,000. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. Fillies and mares here. We have a field of 18 horses going 1,600 meters or a mile on the turf course. As a top selection, I'm going to go take the number 2 horse here. The number 2 horse, who is Tomorrow's Dream. 2-5 in your forecast exacta. 2-5 forecast exacta. Top selection of 2 horse Tomorrow's Dream. This 4-year-old filly by Vase's Dream. William Haggis trains. Tom Marquand gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 5th of June at Epsom, a mile 16th in the Group 2 Princess Elizabeth Stakes, and the horse finished 4th by 7 lengths. And the horse, it sat back early, a little bit of turn of foot late, but it wasn't anything spectacular. Coming here to a long galloping track, not so much tighter turns like Epsom could have. I think the horse should run a lot better. 2 back the horse ran the 5th of April at Campton, 1 mile in the Snowdrop Stakes, and the horse finished 6 by 5 lengths. Was with them early on, completely hit the wall lane. He just used a little bit too much speed, and off the bench, do think that was the wrong decision there. And then prior to that, on heavy ground at Goodwood, 7 furlongs in the October Stakes. The horse finished 5th by 7 lengths. The wheels were spinning on the wet ground. He just wasn't getting a handle of it. And then prior to that, Newmarket, good ground, 7 furlong, 1 mile in the Rosemary Stakes. The horse finished 3rd by 6.25 lengths. Kind of stalked, never quickened out, but never weakened out of it. I thought it was an okay effort. And then they ran the horse in Prix de Cochet at Longchamp on soft ground last September, where he finished 6th by 2 lengths. Again, the soft ground got to him. He's going to see a little quicker ground today, which should suit him well. He's going to have to overcome a high weight, but he's facing a lot less quality horses than he's been facing. 20-1, let's use him on the ticket. I think your second likeliest winner here is the 5 horse. The 5 horse, who is Dream Loper. The 4-year filly by Lope de Vega. Ed Walker trains. Ocean Murphy gets him out. The horse's most recent outing came in Class 2 handicap here at Ascot. Soft ground, 1 mile on the 8th of May, where the horse finished 2nd by a nose. The winner, Light Sign, just ran a very good race and running back than one today. But this horse kind of stalked, really get a good turn of foot. Nothing bad about that race. If it was a little bit longer, probably would have won. But again, nothing bad about that run. And then prior to that, over the mile at Haydock, in a handicap, the horse finished 4th by 1.75 lengths. And again, he was a little lackadaisical early on. Took him a little bit of time to get going. He just come a little bit too late there. And then before that, in a handicap at Ascot last September over the mile, he won by a neck, and he won quite nicely. He's run very well locally. He should get another horse that likes the quick ground. 6-1, let's use him on the ticket for the nightcap. But to recap my selection for the 6:10, the 7th race from Ascot's the Kensington Palace Handicap. Let's take the 2 horse Tomorrow's Dream. We'll give kudos to the 5 horse Dream Looper. We'll go 2-5 in your forecast exacta. Use them both in your place pot. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKit5 and join me throughout the week for some more Ascot previews. Good luck, everybody.